Hi, I'm Mark Mustin here with Diane Roberts. Welcome back to Furious Fiction. We're glad you're with us. And we have with us today, direct from Chicago, Illinois, Audrey Niffenegger. She's the author of The Time Traveler's Wife and Her Fearful Symmetry. She's also a visual artist. She leads tours of Highgate Cemetery. Audrey, are you an astronaut also?
Yes, rocket scientist.
No, I would make a terrible astronaut. I'm not very athletic.
Well, what got you into Highgate Cemetery? Why that? I love it too, but tell me what your experience of it was.
I was working on a book that, for some not clear to me reason, needed a cemetery, and originally it was going to be Graceland in Chicago, which is a pretty wonderful cemetery. And then I was thinking about it, and of all the cemeteries I've ever been in, Highgate was the most amazing, crazy, impressive place. And so I got in touch with them, and they were reluctant at first, but once I started going over there, they gradually became very helpful.
You mean to let you knock around in there and then become a tour guide? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, at first I was just hanging around and bothering them, and I gradually accumulated the knowledge that you need to be a guide, and so eventually, the woman I was working with, Jean Pateman, she said, well, why don't you make yourself useful? And so that is how I got started guiding.
Well, it certainly made itself useful for the book.
Yeah, very.
It's a wonderful sort of, character's not quite the right word, but presence, let's say.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, I still guide over there whenever I can, just because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic. Go ahead, sorry, Mark.
I wanted to ask you about your being a visual artist, and did you start that first and then become a writer, or were you always doing both at the same time, or kind of how do those work together?
I've been doing both since I was a little kid, and I don't know if you experienced this, but I find a lot of people, when they get to high school, you get pressured to specialize, and so I decided when I was a high school student that I would become an artist, go to art school. My mother's an artist, and it seemed like the thing to do. But even when I was in art school, I was always taking writing classes, and I was always making books by hand. I would set the type and bind the books and so forth. So I was always headed that way. It just took a while.
I mean, have you ever thought about doing, and maybe you've done this and I just haven't seen it, kind of something that combines the two, some kind of illustrated or graphic or other type of novel?
I've actually published 3 of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're
yeah,
cool.
They're out there.
They're cool. Well, I mean, obviously you are very visual. You write very visually, if that's not a silly thing to say. But talk to me about the unseen. You like ghosts, or find them useful. Why ghosts?
I think, well, for one thing, people are fascinated by anything that's beyond our reach. So the past, dead people, anything that's not accessible to us, we wonder about. And certainly when people are grieving, your whole being centers on that person that you've lost, and it's really kind of an altered state.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the book, closeness and separation is the big theme of my second novel, and it starts off with one of the characters dying, and she's such a willful person that she actually manages to kind of cling to
hang around, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she gets herself into this kind of limbo that she can't get out of.
Well, she doesn't want to leave that flat. I don't blame her.
Oh, exactly. It's right next to the cemetery.
I'd love to live there. I think that's a great place. But you know, your work also kind of reminds me of Poe, except I think you're a better writer. But the doubles, you know, you like your doubles, twins and twins, and I thought this is a great way to show the uncanny in a story that's just cracking and page turning, but also clever and literary.
Well, and we haven't even talked about The Time Traveler's Wife, which is just a super inventive, really, really neat book. And but so I wonder, you know, if you'll tell us what you have coming next, Audrey. What are you working on now?
Actually, I'm working on a ballet. I'm
Wow.
a choreographer.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm collaborating with Wayne McGregor of the Royal Opera House Ballet in London. And the piece we're working on is called The Raven Girl, and it's about a girl whose parents are a raven and a postman. And she looks like a girl, but she feels like a raven. And so when she grows up, she gets in touch with a doctor and tries to use plastic surgery to transform herself into a proper raven. And it kind of works out. But because ballet is so concerned all the time with transformation and the body and also birds, there's a lot of birds in ballet.
Oh, Odette Nodile, yes.
So we've got ballet, visual art, high-grade literature, maybe opera next.
Next opera.
Actually, yes, opera next.
Yeah.
Well, Audrey, thank you so much for being with us, and we're excited to have somebody of your caliber on Furious Fiction. Good luck with the ballet, and we'll see you next time. I'm Mark Mustin here with Diane Roberts.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.